Wait, did I do beat? Do you have a pen? Start writing these down.
Power up, complete.
I don't. Okay, listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. Nothing more. Hello!
It's been a long time. How have you been? I think we can put our differences behind us. For science. You monster.
Portal is a game about portals. If you're uncultured, you would probably think it's a battle royale or that the portal mechanic came from Splitgate. Anyways, I'll get serious. The Portal franchise was revolutionary in the puzzle genre. By introducing a new dimension to solving puzzles, the game can get really creative with its levels. You play as Chell, a test subject that wakes up inside of the
Aperture Science Enrichment Center.
And you're challenged by the psychotic AI murder robot named GLaDOS. She gives you the portal gun to solve puzzles. And you might be wondering, how do portals work? Well, my good view count slave, you go through a portal and come out the other, but as our Lord and Savior GLaDOS would say,
Speedy thing comes in, speedy thing comes out.
And she guides you through the chambers. The game is set in an amazing futuristic dystopian atmosphere that will make you ask some questions. Where is everyone? If this is a testing facility only for testing, why are there robots shooting at me? The control rooms are empty, and some of the test chambers are in ruins. All of these questions shall get answers at the end of the game. After some tests, she decides to give you cake. Actually no, she tries to burn you alive, but your big brain makes it out alive. But instead of being mad, she talks about making a party for Chell with all her friends. But there is no party, and you don't have any friends because of how unlikable you are. As you make your way through the chambers, you find some spray paintings on a decomposing wall saying stuff like the cake is alive. After doing some more tests and getting threatened by GLaDOS some more times, you make it to her room and finally meet. You at first expect she's gonna be like those Xbox Live Chat kids. They talk shit online and scream racial slurs, but in the end they're real pushovers. Here that does not happen. She's mean and she's out for blood. After the boss fight, you send GLaDOS into the ceiling and she commits an explosive diarrhea, and the game ends. Portal is able to maintain a great balance between gameplay, plot, and humor, with great and fun yet challenging puzzles. But Portal is one of the few games where the sequel is way better than the first game. Well, Shrek 2 also did that.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, alright? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage. Do you want to lay my cards on the table? I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in there. Don't go in there. She's off. She's off. Don't panic over it. She's off. Oh, fine. On we go. There she is. What a nasty piece of work she was, honestly. Like a proper maniac. Do you know who ended up taking her down in the end? You're not going to believe this. A human. I know. I wouldn't have believed either. Apparently this human escaped and nobody's seen him since.
Deep breath and hold it.
Hello.
I hate you so much.
Warning, central core is 80% corrupt.
That's funny.
Target procedure.
No.
Oh, yes, she is.
No.
Stalemate detected. Transfer procedures cannot continue.
Yes.
Once a stalemate associate is present, stalemate resolution
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Oh, it will. Believe me, it will.
Are you just saying that, or is it really going to hurt? You're just saying that, aren't you? No, you're not. You are. It is going to hurt, isn't it?
No. Stop.
Portal 2 took every good thing from the original game and made it even better, unlike EA games. It had a great plot, new mechanics, and the new characters that were introduced were absolutely amazing. So, the game starts off with you waking up in a small dilapidated room, and then you hear a knocking on the door, which happens to be our good boy Wheatley. Being the good boy that he is, he gives us a warm good morning message.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
After revealing that you've been asleep for a very, very long time, he starts to take control of the room and smashes it around a little bit while telling you that you have to escape the facility. You then see that the first few tests you go through are the same as Portal 1's initial test, but now they're broken, overtaken by nature, and abandoned. You go through the destroyed test and get to the portal gun. After a bit of chit-chat with Wheatley, he mentions that you'll have to go through Gladys's chamber and she'll kill you if she's awake.
Like a proper maniac. Do you know who ended up taking her down in the end? You're not going to believe this. A human. I know. I wouldn't have believed either. Apparently this human escaped and nobody's seen him since. Then there was...
He's talking about you, but the moron doesn't know. After going through Gladys's chamber, you attach Wheatley to some sort of control room elevator thing, and you two race up while hitting every single switch. Then, Wheatley takes control of...
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time.
So Wheatley woke up the one omnipotent being that wants you dead. I love this moment. It passive-aggressively shows the built-up anger that GLaDOS has for you. I mean, you did kill her and she did sleep for like 50,000 years or something, so it's justified. After getting turned into a test slave again, GLaDOS verbally thrashes you for the next couple of minutes because she's so mad at you. Also, she has a thing where if she dies, she stores the information from the past 2 or 5 minutes, I forgot, until someone reactivates her. So she had to relive you killing her over and over and over for 50,000 years, which is not very pleasant. For the next couple of levels, you listen to GLaDOS insulting you, calling you fat, adopted, and a horrible person. Portal 2 expands its gameplay by adding new movement mechanics, like the jumpy aperture signs thing, the LED strips looking bridges, and the gels, which let you go either fast or bounce, which are pretty cool and fun. These things allow for much bigger test chambers and new puzzle ideas that keep your brain at work. Eventually, you find Wheatley again, and he seems fine even though GLaDOS knocked him out. He opens up a pathway to allow you to escape. He then guides you through a giant dark factory while having a flashlight that was supposed to kill him, but he can't die since he's Wheatley. He then takes you to a neurotoxin making factory and makes you destroy it. And then afterwards you Mario yourself through a pipe out of that room. You make it to GLaDOS's room with a chance to go at it with the gal herself for round 2. But then Wheatley catches up. You then hold Wheatley, toss him into a compartment thingy, and make them switch places. After a successful transfer and our jolly blue boy finally having control, we go into the lift to finally get out of this horrid place. And of course, we're leaving with our best friend.
Actually, why do we have to leave right now?
His entire existence was just being plain out stupid. He was built for bad ideas and couldn't be anything greater than a moron, and he now knew that. But he now has the power to be something greater, so he took that chance and banished you into the depths of Aperture. You wake up at the bottom of the old Aperture Science facility after a long fall that probably turned you into the wheelchair man from Happy Wheels. You then see GLaDOS get kidnapped by a bird, but you kinda just ignore it and go on your way. You make your way through the destroyed old Aperture ruins and make it to some fancy lobby and hear someone's voice.
Welcome, gentlemen, to Aperture Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best, and you are it. So, who is ready to make some science?
I am.
Now, you already met one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place.
Wow, it's J.K. Simmons! And his assistant Mary Jane. I didn't think they would be in Portal. After that badly constructed joke, we find out that he was the founder of Aperture Fixtures, later named Aperture Science. You solved unintentionally built puzzles due to the decay of the place while J.K. Simmons boasts about science. You find some funny gels that make you go zoom. You keep listening to Omni-Man talk about science that breaks time and space and the idea of disassembling people and putting science stuff into them, and lemons. You also find some goofy goo that looks like nut, that works as a great conductor for portals but gives you prostate cancer if you're near it for a long enough time. So now our boy Cave Simmons is dying of meth poisoning, which is very, very sad. Then in one of the tests, Carolyn says something and Potatoes, which is basically GLaDOS but a potato, proceeds to play a game of Simon Says and repeat what Carolyn is saying, which makes her have an existential crisis. And then Cave also has an existential crisis and goes full on post-science nut clarity on the microphone.
Alright, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
Oh, I like this guy.
I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
Fighting people. He said what we're all thinking.
You make it back to the modern Aperture and oh no, our British friend Wheatley is ruining the place, and he reveals that he is now a test addict. Don't do drugs, kids. It's very bad for you. Now you and your friend Carolyn, OS, make it to Wheatley's chamber and show him that British people are not real by sending him into the depths of space. I can't feel my vocal cords anymore. Both Portal games made a huge impact on the gaming community. It's been 14 years since the first game and 10 years since the second game, and they are still held as classics in gaming culture. Starting with an obscure IP by Valve and got extremely popular due to its gameplay, puzzles, and characters, to a game with one of the best plots you'll ever see, great humor, with even better mechanics and gameplay than ever before. Going above and beyond on what it means to be a sequel, inspiring incredible mods that expand the Portal world, and creating a loyal fan base waiting for a third installment which will never come. Thank you guys for sticking with me for however long this video was. Portal is an amazing game that is really important to me and many others. And I hope you got to experience it too. Go play it, it's amazing. I'm not forcing you, totally. Thank you for watching, and as our boy Simmons would say, if life gives you lemons, burn its house down.
All these points of data make a beautiful